Robyn Flynn filling in for Elias Makos this week. Starbucks, a popular, shall we say, place to go grab a cup of coffee, wanted to be a third place. What's a third place? That's a place that's not home or work where you can spend your time. Now, Starbucks is rushing you out the door. It used to be a place where you could go, grab a coffee, meet a friend, chat for hours on end, a place where you could bring your laptop to work or a book. You could do some studying. Now, the idea of just sitting at a cafe all afternoon isn't cutting it anymore. Thanks, capitalism. Starbucks, more than 70% of their sales now are coming from mobile orders. That means people are ordering on their phone and running in and just picking up their order and running back out the door. And Starbucks likes that. They don't want people hanging out inside their restaurant. The chain has even opened up stores that are only for pickup, eliminating the sit-down aspect of the cafe altogether. Has technology kind of taken over the experience of grabbing a coffee? Mitch Joel is tech advisor, investor, and author of CTRL ALT Delete and founder of ThinkersOne. My goodness, Mitch Joel, you have done a lot. I'm so glad to have you joining us this morning.
Well, welcome to the airwaves, Robyn. Always good to hear your voice, and thanks for having me.
Likewise. So it used to be, I remember I had hired a tutor once to help me learn Spanish, and that we would go to Starbucks. We would meet twice a week at a Starbucks, grab a cup of coffee and sit there for a few hours and practice my Spanish. And I would write out, verbs and conjugations and stuff like that. But I feel like that experience is almost gone. The last couple times I've gone to Starbucks, it's been dead. It's just people coming in, grabbing a coffee that they already ordered and they're gone. And I feel like what we envision as a cafe, the experience of going to a cafe has completely shifted. Can we blame technology for that?
I think technology is probably one of four challenges that we're seeing. So yes, there's no doubt that Starbucks in their digital transformation did a fantastic job with their mobile app. And that was also perpetrated by the success that they had in introducing drive-thrus. The app in and of itself makes it super convenient, as everybody knows. You log in, you can place your order, it's ready when you get there. And there is that type of convenience. But we've also seen a couple of other shifts. One, I think COVID was a big factor, not just the shutdown in cafes and restaurants, but just how we worked in general. And we've become very comfortable working at home and found other places in and around our homes where we can work. So that idea of, I want to not work at home, I don't want to go to the office, I can go there, or I could do some studying there, has definitely transformed us. I think also there's been a shift, and you see this in Starbucks' success, from the hot coffee and cafe experience of Paris that Howard Schultz introduced many, many years ago, to this idea of cold coffees, teas, lemonades, caffeinated drinks. And that's also really pushed their sales. So it's really hot out, you go for a lemonade. You're not going to sit down and chat. You're going to take that to go, and you're going to take that to walk. And then also just Wall Street in general, right? Starbucks reduced their labor costs. They've increased their order volume by running mostly this drive-through and mobile business, and it looks good for them. And all of that has just changed the culture. I think, unfortunately, too. I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, I work from home primarily, but occasionally I do have to meet clients in person, and I don't want to, invite them into my house. That's weird. So usually we'll go meet at Starbucks. That's generally the place that I've always chosen. And the environment is just different. There used to be like cozy chairs you could sit on and a fireplace and, tables with books on them. Now it's like hard plastic chairs. Good luck finding somewhere to charge your laptop while you're there. It feels hostile, almost like they really don't want you to be sitting down. Maybe you sit down while you wait for us to finish making your latte. That's about it. I don't know. Is that just me? I just feel like I'm not welcome in there anymore.
I think Starbucks grew tremendously. And what they did was a transformation in culture. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt that it's still one of the most valuable brands. We can't dismiss the fact that there's close to 1,500 Starbucks currently in Canada. It's a growing brand. They plan to open 2,000 more globally. But you're right that size and growth pushed two things. One is it pushed the fast food market into that space. You started seeing things like McCafe, the growing power of Tim Hortons, Dunkin' Donuts, on and on. And the other side is it really pushed this third wave of coffee, which isn't the Parisian cafes, but rather these nouveau cool coffee places that were competing with Starbucks, your local neighborhood. All those places were very powerful. And so suddenly, the place that you would typically take that client of yours to Starbucks is now another local cafe that's very, very pretty, that understands you, that has locally sourced organic beans and on and on. And at the same time, Starbucks is competing with your Tim Hortons and McDonald's drive-through. So I understand how it happened. And I feel like there are so many other options. And by the way, let's not dismiss the power of your local public library. It's a great place to go and hang out as a third place and meet people and connect. That competitive nature and just the changing ways in which we deal with both technology and our work really shifted the story in a big way. And now Starbucks has to figure out, are they fast food or are they comfort? Are they all about just the transactional business, or are they about that engagement and that place of community and that place where we gather? That exactly what you were saying, like, let's meet at Starbucks, which became a colloquialism, is all but gone now.
Yeah, and they haven't quite gone as far as Tim Hortons. So the Tim Hortons near where I am actually has signs up that say you only have 25 minutes. So you come in, you get your coffee, you're allowed to sit down, but they want you to leave. There's a time limit. Like, obviously, I've never actually seen it enforced. I've never seen a staff member say, you've been here a little too long, it's time to go. But the second you sit down, you already feel unwelcome inside of Tim Hortons. And I haven't seen that yet at my local Starbucks, but I feel like we're heading in that direction. I do wish there were more local options. I feel like because we have these gigantic Starbuckses on every corner, sometimes two on a corner, depending on where you are, it definitely makes things harder for the little guy, doesn't it?
Well, they're shifting. I will say that those store formats are going away. You're seeing them push towards drive-through or pickup only. You are seeing these local businesses, which I always encourage people to support. And look, ultimately, Starbucks didn't want to become the public space and, more importantly, probably the public bathroom for everybody. And it became an issue. I don't know if you remember a few years back, there were issues where there were homeless people or people struggling with mental health challenges from the city streets. And Starbucks, because of that, has actually closed some stores. And if you've been in one recently, they've restricted bathroom access over safety concerns. There have been issues that have also pushed them as a large public company into this place. So I'm hopeful. I'm begging our local entrepreneurs to open up your bathrooms, open up your spaces,
yes,
make people feel welcome, because it seems like there is still a desire for people to have that third place, even though it's diminished in the face of us becoming much more comfortable in our homes for work.
Yeah, and you mentioned, libraries as being a great third place. We have a wonderful library where I am, and they have a great children's section. I love taking my daughter there. But the only thing with libraries is you need to be quiet, right?
No, Robyn, those days, no, we're going to disabuse you of that notion. Those days are officially over, and they've been over for years. People think that, so they go in and they're all hushed. But no, public libraries now are very much open to people talking and chatting, and they have areas where people can work, and they have closed office space. I think that most of the modern libraries have gone away from the old places to ones where they really want public activity and they're running events. So that is a trope that we hold on to, but it's absolutely not true. So yes, you go into libraries and they are quiet, but they don't have to be anymore. That's the good news.
Okay. No one's going to come yell at me because I'm being too loud then.
No, although I just don't recommend screaming indoor anyways.
Right. That's just not respectful. But in general, I've definitely not on a university campus. I remember when I went to McGill, if you spoke above a whisper, you would get shh and harsh looks from everyone around you.
Public libraries are awesome now. I really recommend people go and hang out with them more. They're great.
Awesome. Absolutely. Mitch Joel, tech advisor, investor, author of CTRL ALT Delete, and founder of ThinkersOne. Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. Really appreciate it, Mitch.
Always a pleasure. Thanks, Robyn.